One of the biggest problems for a long serialization are the story become predictable and repetitive. Take One Piece for example. Every arc always start with Luffy and the others arrive at the island, beat the bad guy, save the people, and throw a party. Classroom of the Elite also have a few repetitive pattern, and it usually ended up with Ayanokoji playing for dimension chess by manipulating everyone. With a limited place to explore, Classroom of the Elite could only rely on the character to keep the story interesting. However, introducing a lot of character already proven to be inefficient, because the new character ended up just decreasing the main cast screen time. So, in order to make the story less repetitive with the same character, all the character need to get a character development. A character who keep doing the same thing over and over is boring to read. However, when the character learn from his mistake and change the way they fight, there will be always something different that we could expect from the story. Horikita, Ryuen, Sakayanagi, and Ichinose. All of them already undergo a lot of change in their 2 years of journey. However, the same thing cannot be said about Ayanokoji. For better or worse, Ayanokoji in the 3rd year is still the same Ayanokoji from the 1st volume. If we compare Ayanokoji in the 1st volume and the 7th volume, you will realize Ayanokoji feels like a completely different person. He reduces the joke and dirty thought in his monologue, and starts to act more serious and heartless. In one of his interviews, Kinugasa already admits that he actually wanted to change a lot of things from the early season because it didn't match his actual plan for Ayanokoji. However, for the sake of popularity, Kinugasa needs to throw extra fan service to make sure the readers will like it. It's only after the anime version of Ayanokoji got a huge popularity where Kinugasa finally decided to use that version of Ayanokoji in his writing. Other than that, Ayanokoji character in the 1st year was consistent. He tried to live as an ordinary student, and even though more and more people started to be aware of his ability, Ayanokoji himself never tried to seek trouble. There was no change in his way of thinking or his method, but at the end of the 1st year arc, he wanted to change himself. While he is not exactly changing, Ayanokoji decides to leave something behind as proof of his freedom in high school. He started dating Kei, and he started to show more of his ability to the school. However, that was not the change that we were talking about. It was simply a motivation, not a character development. Let's compare Ayanokoji with Horikita and Ryuen. Horikita was written as a cold girl who misunderstood independence with solitude. Horikita believed she was the best, and her placement in Class D must be a mistake. However, after a year of experience, Horikita finally realizes she is just a weak little girl who cannot even face her true self. That's why when she decided to cut her hair, she stopped trying to become an imitation of her brother, and started to accept other people in her life. Horikita changed from an antisocial girl to a woman who accepts other people help, because she realized she wouldn't be able to win if she was alone, and that is what you call character development. And now let's take a look at Ryuen. When he was first introduced, he was an embodiment of arrogance. He believes violence is the strongest power that would bring him to the top. As long as he keeps forcing himself and doesn't give up, he believes he will be the one who get the last laugh. However, after getting his ass kicked by Ayanokoji, Ryuen enters a calm period for a few months. That was where he started questioning himself, and what he actually wanted to do in the school. He wants to defeat Ayanokoji, but he realizes Ayanokoji is on a completely different level than him, and that's why Ryuen needs to change. He didn't change right away, but Ryuen started to value his classmates that he used to treat like a trash. He invites Katsuragi to his class because he realizes he needs more fighting power, and he doesn't expel Tokido because he needs someone to oppose him. Ryuen tries to strengthen his class, but in the end, he needs to strengthen himself the most. Ayanokoji advice in volume 11.5 is the reason why he challenges Sakayanagi without using any dirty tricks that used to be his specialty. Ryuen no longer believes that violence is the best way to win. Even if he will still use it in the future, that doesn't mean he will rely on it. And that is how Ryuen managed to change. Both Horikita and Ryuen changed because they realize they are not strong enough to achieve their goal. They are weak, so they need to learn and grow. However, Ayanokoji doesn't have anyone who can make him realize that he is weak. He is standing at the top without any competitors, and that is why he didn't need to change. It's not like weakness is the only way to change. Sudo managed to change because of his burning feeling for Horikita, and Ayanokoji tried to experience the same by confessing to Kei. Maybe if they spend enough time together, Ayanokoji could draw out his emotion that is buried deep inside him, but the truth is far from what he hopes. No matter what they did, Ayanokoji still remained the same. He didn't feel anything, and that's why he didn't do anything differently. He keeps manipulating others, using them, and finally discarding them when they no longer have any use for him. After all, even if he keeps using the same formula, there is still nobody who could defeat him. However, it's not like Ayanokoji keeps doing the exact same things. In the second year arc, he starts to take things seriously and stops hiding in the shadows. He purposely drew attention to himself and showed everyone what is he capable of. But Ayanokoji himself doesn't change. He is just showing his true side that he was hiding from everyone. Deep down, he is still an extremely intelligent man without a heart who will do anything for his own goal. The unchanging of Ayanokoji is a really bad idea to end the story. No character development means everything that Ayanokoji did and experienced doesn't have any actual meaning for him. Even if he leaves his presence in the mind of the people who know him, they didn't leave any presence in the mind of Ayanokoji. All those days will become nothing but a memory, just a data that has no actual meaning. Ayanokoji only has 3 years of freedom, and he even disobeys his father for that experience. That's why his high school life needs to be something special that will change his life forever. If he cannot even achieve that, the dark future is the only thing that will be waiting for him. Ayanokoji didn't change, but that doesn't mean it is impossible for him to change. He still has 1 year of school life ahead of him, and this year will be the most heart-wrenching to read. With Ayanokoji making enemy of Horikita and Ryuen, and Koenji possibly doing something, there is a chance that he will actually be defeated, or at least get pushed to his limit. The sense of challenge will always become a motivation to change, and even if Horikita and the others cannot do that, there are a few other possible ways to make it happen. The core character of Ayanokoji is how he treated everyone as nothing but a tool. Ayanokoji really needs to get rid of that view and start to actually care for someone. He had shown compassion for Horikita a few times, but it's more like professional compassion instead of genuine one. Someone, or something, needs to draw that emotion from him. It could be Kei who will make Ayanokoji regret breaking up with her, or Ichinose who will treat Ayanokoji as her tool, or Horikita who will defeat him with her potential, or Hiyori with her surprising side, or maybe a completely new character who will come with an unexpected plot twist. It doesn't matter who, or what kind of method they will use, as long as Ayanokoji could change to the better, that's all that matters. As the end, let's just pray Ayanokoji could be happy at the end of his life.